What's up, guys?
All right. Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to our channel, Modeling Success Successfully. I'm your host, Gorma Guitar. Today, we have a very special guest who is a successful YouTuber and a prominent social media figure, not only in Canada, Quebec, but also all over the world. I personally got connected with him through YouTube living in Los Angeles. So that tells you about the reach of this gentleman. You guys are about to get a lot of wisdom from. So be sure to get your pen and papers ready because this prominent social media figure who specializes in news,
Mhm.
investigative reporting, and interviews, a lot of live interviews as well. He has a winner's mantra, which is to be positive and never ever give up. Without further ado, please welcome Angelo Ange Parrella, the host of the Ange TV show,
What's
guys.
up, guys? What's
Welcome,
up,
welcome,
LA?
welcome.
What's
How
up,
are you, brother?
Montreal?
Welcome,
I'm
welcome.
good, Gore. It's my birthday today. What can we do? Thank you,
Happy
thank you,
birthday, brother.
thank
Happy
you.
birthday to you. And I want to wish you the best the life and the world can offer. And I know everything starts internally. So personally, I
Exactly.
wanna wish you a lot of health because
I appreciate it, Gore.
without that, nothing is worth it. So
Exactly, yeah.
I wish you a lot of health. Health will give you time, and you're a type of individual that's a go-getter. So you got
Exactly.
health, you got time, you'll get it. I know. I already know. Welcome. How are you, brother?
Very nice words, Gore. I'm good, guys. Like I said, it is my birthday. I've been engaging in the festivities all day and even later tonight. So, like I said, busy guy. All of a sudden, ask my girlfriend; she'll agree with you 100%. But like I said, guys, it's all about time management, which we're gonna get to, right, Gore? We're gonna get to
Absolutely.
time management. But the first thing, guys, is absolutely your health. You know what I mean? Without your health, how do you want to do any project without your health first, right? Because if you don't have your health, you don't have nothing. You can't do what you want to do without being there, right?
So true, so true. Health is the beginning of that first domino effect, and you
Yeah,
already know domino effect. If it's positive, it's going to create a positive reaction. Same thing goes for the negative. So
of
if
course.
you're getting your health ready, for example, you're getting just a simple example. You're getting in the morning. You don't
Mhm.
need to go get a gym membership or anything. You can take a 15-minute casual walk around the
Yeah,
park outside or around the street, or you can just get like 5, 10 pound dumbbells. You don't need to go heavy, just a couple of sets of like 10, 15 repetition of something. The point is to get you physically moving, and that creates a satisfaction feeling
yeah.
because you're accomplishing a task from the get. Go ahead.
It gets your mind going. You know what I mean? Like, when you do something like that, like exercise stuff like that, it gets your mind going, gives you positive enzymes, it gets you moving, gives you confidence. And let me tell you guys, confidence is a big deal. A lot of people have very low confidence. They could have the talent of the world, but once it's lights, camera, action, it's a completely different story. You got to be on your game, right, Gore? So
Absolutely,
so that's the thing.
absolutely.
You want to do everything in your power to get that confidence up. What's up, Taya McPherson? What's up? I see you say hi, Ange.
Welcome, Mecca, Tia McPherson, Raul. Welcome, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate me. Both of us appreciate you guys is
Yeah,
taking the time. And I'm not sure if you guys were here, but today is Ange's birthday. So happy birthday to Ange. And for those of you who are not in a live chat, but you're watching it and you're saying happy birthday to Ange in your head, we heard it. Thank you for that.
thank you, guys. Thank you. Seriously.
Appreciate you guys. So, guys, if you have any questions about the topic that we're discussing, or
Mhm.
if you want to add something to the topic Ange and I are discussing, feel free to share in the chat
Yeah,
section. And if it's congruent with the topic, and we'll highlight it, we'll share it with the
absolutely.
world. As far as the health topic goes, I couldn't agree more. Health goes not just physical. Just because I gave an example on a physical doesn't mean that's the only way. There's also mental health. Like for example,
Absolutely.
during workout, like for example, just to carry on the example that I gave, while
Mhm.
you're doing that light workout at home or taking that jog outside, you can simply listen to a podcast or listen to an
Yeah,
audiobook of your choice, to the people who you have respect for, or you share a common knowledge for.
Yeah,
And this basically going to give you the solidity and take away the stress of what other people are thinking and doing, because
exactly.
you're already listening and learning from the best in that field, assuming you chose the best. So I see a double win right there: health mentally and health physically. Because if you can get your mindset right, then you can have a focus and not get drifted and sidetracked, and you
Yeah.
can be on top of your health. I think you can go far in life. And personally, that's my goal every day, to
Because
to
we see that a lot, Gore. We see people that want to start things, but they're just not right mentally. They're not right physically, and then you get those speed bumps in the way. Like, you get those speed bumps with your health. And you go, I got to cancel this show. I got to cancel that show. I can't do this. I got to be at the hospital. This that. So that's why they say you want to start things as young as possible, right? You're not married. You don't have kids. Maybe you don't have a business yet or whatever, but you don't have the worries of the world. You know what I mean? You live with your parents, and a lot of that we take it for granted. But just think about them taking care of us. It's hard enough to take care of yourself in 2021 with all the expenses. Just think about
facts.
what burden they have to take on. So,
So
like I said,
true. So true.
listen, Gore. I know that we're going to talk about this later about regrets growing up, and I'm sure I have a lot. I do have a lot.
We
But
all do, brother. We all do.
guys, it's easy to say, go get that confidence, go get that job, go talk to that girl. It's easy to say that, but for some people, they have this barrier in front of them, right, Gore? I don't know if you see it, but a lot of people, they have this barrier in front
I
of
do,
them.
I do exactly see it, and that barrier, and I call that barrier a curtain,
Yeah.
a fog that blurs your vision, and that comes from a perspective, and
Mhm.
that actually puts us to the next topic that we're gonna talk about, which is brainstorming. But perspective can be the bridge to it. Thinking about a subject or a task or a project or a person or anything, the
Mhm.
way you come from and thinking about it is going to determine what direction your thoughts are going to head to, which are going to
Yeah.
create the actions. So having to come from the right place towards a project is the first step. People think the
Yeah.
first step starts when you get to the project. No, you have to have the right perspective and then go start it with the right perspective. Another example: opening a business. You cannot open a business and hope and start thinking, oh, what if customers don't come? What if they don't pay? What if this? I have to pay 5,000 rent. I have to pay $3,000 more employee cost. This much payroll. That much insurance. What if no one comes? I'm gonna go negative. Those are all negative thoughts that create the blurriness, that create that wall that holds you back from getting it. But if you think of positive way, and if you focus on the positive, not just positive, uh, positive actionable things that you can do and create momentum, even if you get it at that second, if you keep on honing your skills towards how to sell to a customer, how to price your products accordingly, dude, you're gonna get it. It's just a matter
Yeah.
of time, you know. So the same thing goes over here. Perspective leads us to the next subject, which is
Yeah.
going to be the brainstorming. And I'm personally very curious, and I think our viewers are going to find a lot of knowledge out of this too. Ange, how
Yeah.
do you, like, for example, how did you go about brainstorming the Ange TV show and coming up with the brand and creating this entire media news company that's going to become an empire? Because I see how much work you put in, and I see how much excuse me, I see how much positive impact you make on
Yeah.
YouTube specifically. I've been following you for a while now. But
Mhm.
how do you go about brainstorming all that and doing it?
Well, first off, I just want to say how this all started. It's been a year I've been on YouTube, by the way, guys. I started during the pandemic in March, very, very, very early on in the pandemic when there was a big wave of people doing shows, podcasts. I was one of the earliest ones to do it. And then we just saw the flurry of what is now a podcast society. Like, that's what it's turning to. 2020 into 2021, it's one of the hottest growing things.
Right.
Now, I want to explain something. How I started. Listen, the first thing I said is I want to make a name that nobody has. Okay, I want to name. First of all, the name has to have my name in there. Okay, so if my name is in there, when people follow me, they'll know that's Ange. not
Right.
that's I don't know, the tree or something. You know what I mean? Like it's Ange. You know who the person is. You could identify with the person. That's why I say when you do reaction videos, I just it's like you're doing reaction videos of bands or other people, but at the end of the day, people follow you because they follow that band, right? I want
Absolutely.
people to follow me because they like my content. You understand? Now, when I started, like I said, I came up with an original name. I didn't want a name too long because they say that names are usually 2 to 3 syllables. But anyways, so I created a
To
short
have a
name.
punchline. Yes, you're
Yeah,
on
a
point
short
with
name
that.
that's just like you know exactly what it is. It's a TV show. It's a YouTube show. Whatever. The first thing was the name. Okay. The first video I did, it was about the coronavirus. Why? Because I wanted to do something that's very, very in demand right now, like what people are talking about. Whatever I put out, it's got to be something that people are talking
Relevant.
about. Relevant,
That's such a
trending.
good topic you just hopped on. I'm making a note. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. So you want to take something that's relevant, something with a shock value. Okay. And like I said, it comes down to the thumbnail, it comes down to the title, the content, the person you have on to talk about that subject. Now, when I started, guys, it was towards the end of the sketch comedy type of YouTube that we've seen. Before it was more of like an upload a video, do something funny, that kind of stuff. Like even like Shane Dawson type of stuff. You know what I mean? But it changed a lot when I came on. Now it's more of like a podcast type of thing. YouTube, I find like even the big YouTubers that do something that doesn't have to do with a podcast are doing podcasts because of the situation with the coronavirus, which is very different in the US. In the US, you guys are much closer to herd immunity than where I live. Where I live, we're going to be stuck in this for God knows how long because of the slow moving vaccines and the restrictions provincially here where I live. But still, I still think podcasting is going to be very popular even after the pandemic. It's just something that people are starting to really like. Now,
Right.
so I started different videos, rants, reaction videos, story time, and people I would go with what people say. The story times they love the most, so I used to always do story time.
Tell us more about that story times. What does that mean if you were to describe in one sentence? What is a story time?
Okay, a story time is basically you just take a story that you experienced and then you just make a video about it and explain that story. It could be a funny story, it could be an embarrassing story, whatever it is. It's something that happened to you. It's storytelling. You know what I mean? You're trying to make an audience entertain an audience.
Personal experience or something.
Yeah, you want to make them laugh. You want to give them a reason to watch it. And the reason why people watch me is because it was kind of comical. Because I would say personal stories, my first dates. The time a hobo.
Those are always interesting.
Like random stuff that happened to me. The time I went to the strip club and my car broke down. Like basically,
Oh my God.
I got a flat tire, and then we were stuck, and we called the police for a flat tire.
Oh my God. That flat tire cost you probably 4 times more because you had to pay the police too, or that's not how it works over there.
The police just told us, like, what are you doing calling us? I call a tow truck. And that's a long story too. I had no cash, by the way, when I broke my tire, not slashed.
Yeah,
it slashed because I was using my brother's tires and it was the wrong size and it got cut like a can opener.
Oh my God.
So,
too much pressure.
Yeah. So like little stories like that, I decided to do. But then I said, is story time really gonna take your channel to the next level? And I'll give you the answer right now. How many channels do you see, big channels in the millions, that do story time? There's not a lot, right?
Not
the big
many.
channels right now. You have the PewDiePie. You have PewDiePie. He's gaming. That's gaming. You have kids TV shows, which is something I was thinking of doing, Gore. But there's just it's really complicated when it comes to kids shows, the youth, and everything. There's just a lot of
with the restrictions and everything.
Yeah, there's restrictions. There's the cancel culture. It's something. If I were to do that, it wouldn't be me as the face of it. You understand, Gore? Definitely. If I were to do it, it would be a kid show, but there wouldn't be me involved in it. My idea
would be behind the scenes.
Yeah, maybe even, you know what, Gore? I would do voice acting for a kid show. Why not? I know plenty of people.
Voiceovers. That's another great idea. Actually, voiceovers create a lot of. Yeah. I watch a lot of voiceover stories on history. where
Really?
they just have where they just have just slideshows of pictures, and someone is doing a voiceover just telling you like what happened down the line in history. And those for
Interesting.
me, yes, because I'm personally, when I watch look when I see it and I
Mhm.
hear it, I don't forget it. But if I just
Yeah.
hear it, it's hard to process it. I'm a visual person, so that's
Exactly.
why reading a book, it doesn't stick as much as watching, looking at a picture and then being heard, or like, you get what I mean. So it
Yeah.
works for me. I found the hack to myself, like I'll put it to like 500-page book, I'll finish it in like 5 days in an audiobook form. But a
Mhm.
500-page book in a hard copy, probably a year and a half until I
Really?
finish it. Yeah, so
You know, it's funny, Gore. I do not read books at all.
uh,
Now, I don't know if it's because we're in an internet age, and I'm not even talking about ebooks. I don't even read ebooks.
mhm.
I Ever since I was growing up, I think the longest story I read is those Bailey School Kids books for kids. That's it.
I
I
was
couldn't.
speaking about audiobooks, not ebook. The one that reads for it, reads to you.
Oh, okay, okay, okay,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I'm
No,
talking about a
ebook.
physical book. I haven't read one in years, dude.
I
Like,
can relate to that. The first and last one I read a physical book was by Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad, which was like 14 years ago. But I've written
okay.
like hundreds of audiobooks
Mhm.
where you listen to it. So that's I found the way how to consume information, the way that I enjoy doing. That's another
Yeah,
problem I'm seeing, where people like to get information, but they don't like the conventional route of getting information. So
yeah.
that's why a lot of people are kind of not scared,
Mhm.
but just go a different direction when it comes to, let's say, learning a skill. But if that skill was taught in a different form, I think there would be many more people interested in learning it. That's why YouTube helps a lot, is for
And
many people like it.
it's interesting, Gore, that you're bringing it up because right now
Mhm.
we live in a time that it's the hardest to get people's attention.
Hmm.
Okay, the attention span has been
So
smaller
true.
than ever, and that's why TikTok is it's a giant right now. It's just like you can have a video going, like you could have literally 100 followers and get a video of 12 million views. Why? Because like I said, it's short views. It's very funny. There's a lot of people on it. Most people do not have time. So what they do is they flick on their phone on TikTok or Instagram Reels or Stories on Instagram. That's why YouTube is more in depth. I tell this all the time. I wish I could just take this, copy paste it, and send it to everybody in the world, just so people are aware of this because they're not. You have to understand that when you're on YouTube, okay, literally to get people onto your channel, if there's people that just stay on Facebook, well, guess what? You have to message them on Facebook because or else they won't see your stuff. You have to put it on your story on Facebook. If there's
Yeah.
people on Instagram, well, I mean, Instagram is one of the best tools to advertise anything, Gordon. There's people that told me that their whole business is based on Instagram advertisement. So
This
it's
is
a
true.
really, it's a really, really big tool. We're gonna talk about it later, right, Gordon? About tools.
Absolutely, absolutely. Tools and what kind of avenues we take to create certain stuff for certain results, because every single tool is specified to get a certain job done. You can do the same thing with certain tools. What's something we're definitely going to get into. Before moving forward, I want to touch up on lightly on a philosophical topic before we get into the nitty and gritty details of the YouTube and anything else. Like philosophical speaking, like I want to talk about like a positive mindset, like being positive, and how much of thinking the positive direction, thinking upwards, it helps or hurts your growth on YouTube. And I wanted to know what your idea was about that. How do you feel about the positivity and overall doing YouTube?
Well, I tell a lot of people that I see that are thinking about things that don't matter. Like I just, when you're thinking about negativity, you think about people that hurt you. You're thinking about things that happened 10 years ago, grudges. You're thinking, oh, I'm not motivated to go on tonight. Why should I go on tonight if nobody watches me? What's the point of continuing? What's the point of putting all this work? Those are things that are going to take you down. Absolutely. What you got to do is you got to keep doing it. It's like a punching bag. A punching bag, it takes a lot of punches, but it stands there after, right? So that's what I'm trying to say. You have to learn how to lose before you could win. My dad told me that. My dad was a soccer coach.
That's such a good saying. Say that again, please.
Gotta learn how to lose before you could win. You have to put up a video and not get a lot of attention. And I'm sure we're gonna mention that later when we get to the YouTube side about engagement. It's incredibly important
Hmm.
because YouTube like literally thrives on that. Like if they see engagement, they're gonna help you. If they don't see engagement, well, they're gonna hide you. You know,
So
and it's
true.
the unwritten rule about YouTube and any social media. Seriously, on TikTok, Instagram, they're all the same, guys. The algorithm is very, very similar. And now they're pretty much at war with each other to get viewers, right? That's why
Hmm.
Instagram has the Reels. They're trying to compete with TikTok, and then you have
Yes.
Snapchat now that's monetizing people to compete with Instagram and TikTok. It's just a huge mess, but it's just been an explosion of social media. The amount of influencers, the amount of podcast shows, cooking people, trainers, tarot card readers, you name it. It's like but you know what, Gord? There's a lot of
Uh-huh.
space for everybody to grow. Okay, so if
So
you're
true.
thinking of making a show tomorrow, I would say go make that show tomorrow. Go make that show. Let's see what you got. You know what I mean? Like, do it. Just do it.
Exactly.
You know, a lot of people, what they do is they just take like they procrastinate, procrastinate, and then it turns into jealousy. They just say, you know what? I'm just gonna be jealous of that person and not do my own thing. And that's very cowardly. You understand? So whatever you
Exactly.
do, whatever you're putting out, already there to me, you're a winner. If you're putting something out, whether it's good or bad,
Absolutely.
to me, you're a winner. You have the confidence to do it, and it takes a lot to put yourself out there, right? I was a very,
Absolutely.
very, very private person before a year ago, I would say, for certain reasons. But and I was a very social person back in my teens. So and then now it came back. You know what I mean? You know when they say history repeats itself?
Absolutely. I can relate to that so much, Anjan. And to be honest with you, when I first started YouTube too, I created like 20, 30 videos for like 2, 3 months. I was sitting on it. I didn't even upload it because I'm personally a very, very private person. Didn't even have personal social accounts or anything like that. I've always been on social, but for business reasons, for posting the business pictures and advertising businesses, but
Okay.
personal never did it. So when YouTube came around, I realized that a lot of stuff, information that I got from YouTube. So, and I noticed that I was giving out a lot of information and help around in personal life too. And I thought to myself, maybe there are people out there all over the world who can learn a thing or two from my experiences and what I've learned having 13 plus years of owning my own businesses over here in one of the most lucrative yet competitive markets in the world. So that's how I started coming up with making a YouTube channel. And then when I put up the YouTube videos, I honestly still shy. I did not go about advertising or telling people or telling friends, hey, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Why? Because I simply thought to myself, this YouTube I'm doing for the YouTube community where I got the information from.
Yeah.
If any of my peers in my personal life happen to be in the same community on YouTube, then we're going to bump into each other. If
Mhm.
not, I do not see a reason forcibly putting yourself in front of someone and having to get their attention. I think it's better to hone into your craft, make quality content that people like to enjoy, whether it's scary, funny, or whatever content you're making. If people are enjoying it, then that itself is going to create the hype and word of mouth, and the community is going to be drawn to it. And that's pretty much the main reason why I started YouTube. And it took me a while to post it because of that shyness, having the personal thing,
When
putting
did
it
you
out there.
start on YouTube, Gord? Because when I started, like I was literally watching your lives. That's the funny
Mhm.
thing. So when did you start exactly?
So YouTube personal channel started about mid 2018, and then this one we started in February, mid February. This channel we started it. So
This
we yeah, so we want to push the branding channel more, and the reason why is because one thing I learned, Ange, from the previous personal channel,
year.
you notice my content was a bit different. It's similar, but different than the content we're doing now. I
Yeah,
realized that people don't like being told, even if it's the information that's gonna help them to advance. Like for example, if you tell someone go get that shovel and dig a hole under that tree, there's like, for example, you'll find a barrel of El Chapo's cash buried, for example. but like there, like if you tell 200 people, Like 95 of them won't even go do it. There are going to be some people to do it. So I realized that me telling people how to, for example, make money, how to hire, how to fire, how to do business, how to choose a location,
Yeah.
didn't it wasn't interesting for people to watch. I would spend 20 hours make a video, it would get 20 views.
But you know what, Cor? It's funny because
Mhm.
Gary V, you know Gary V?
Absolutely, Gary Vaynerchuk,
Gary, I
one of
love
my.
Gary V.
Uh-huh.
Recently, I've been following him a lot, and I love his statements, and I live by it right now.
Vayner Media.
Yeah, he's just a great guy. Great guy. He knows what he's talking about. He knows how to
Shout
work.
out to him, Gary V.
It's-
If you're watching this, Ange and I would love to have you as our guest. So let us know. Go ahead,
Exactly. But
Ange.
you know what, Gore? What you said is crisp. It's exactly what's going on right now.
Mm.
People are scared to put out what they want to put out because they know that I won't get the attention as if I were to I don't know, have a what do you call it, a booty dance, or you know what I mean, like a
Mhm.
TikTok booty dance.
Absolutely.
Like if I were to do something controversial, it would get much more views, right? Or if
This
I
is
would
true.
have some big influencer or some big celebrity, or if I talk about a big celebrity, I'll get much more views. They do that instead of doing the stuff they want. So my question is, why do you do that? You're supposed to be doing YouTube because you like to do it, right? Or
Absolutely.
maybe it's about the money for them. I don't know. But the whole point is you're supposed to be doing it because you like to do it. And when you do something you like, it becomes much easier.
Yes. Yes, and I read a quote like that actually yesterday. It's similar to in a sports field. They said, I love to play the game for the game, not for the trophies.
That's
So
right.
having the trophies is a bystander of you being good at it, and the way you become good at anything is first loving to do it and then doing it so much repetitive, and repetition is the mother of all success.
Yeah.
So if you love something, you're gonna get to repeat it, and you repeat it enough time, you practice it, you're gonna get better at that. So that's why what you said is right on.
Yeah.
If you don't love doing YouTube, even if you're doing YouTube as business to make money, you're gonna be in you're better off opening a business.
Yeah.
I put it to it this way, because it's going to take you years to get the money. I personally, it's an internal dialect I'm having. I'm very business oriented. Like I look at everything in a business perspective, including YouTube. But at the same time, I have a personal love for YouTube. That if I were not to get paid from it, for me, it's worth it to know Angie in Quebec. When I go over there, go have a beer with him. Like to me, it's worth it, dude. As an example, you get what I mean. So that networking right there is YouTube is a very very great tool to network.
Yeah.
And people mix up a network with profit. You don't necessarily have to go network for the sake of profit. You can network for the sake of what's the right word, favors. Where I come from, like in Armenia, it's not even a third world country, it's like a fourth,
Mhm.
fifth world country. Really really bad over there. Like over there, you don't, not many people have money. The money doesn't really go around too much, but what goes around is talent and favors. Say Ange, I have a body shop, and say you have a paint shop. If I need a paint, and if I haven't got the money from the customer to pay you, I'm gonna come ask you, like, give me the paint, let me paint it and give it back to the customer pays, I'll give the money back. Favors.
So it's like a
You
barter system.
Exactly. But this is how the country is set up, because not everyone, there's not enough money to go around for people to exchange cash for
And you know what, Cor?
tasks.
It's a
Uh-huh.
good point because well, there's people that they're more fortunate. They have the money to buy the right equipment to promote their videos. They have the right contacts. Like I said, their parents are supporting them, right? So they don't have to actually work full time to pay for whatever. So there's an advantage there, okay? But at the end of the day, Gore, okay, that's not what you're supposed to look at, okay? What I look at, Gore, is I look at somebody. If you work your ass off, you have a soft spot in my heart. If you're a hard worker and I see it, you're putting out content, you're getting sponsors, you're doing collaborations, because we're going to talk about that. Collaborations is the creme de la creme, okay? And I just realized that. I wasn't a big collaborator, but now I realize collaboration is everything. Why? Because you have a following, they have a following, you combine followers, right? You might not get all their followers, but you got more followers. That's the point. If you're doing something and you see it's just about you and it's all directed towards your clique or your friends, whatever, it's less likely to attract other people, right?
Absolutely, collaboration. That's let's go a little deeper on that Topic. Collaboration is number one way of growing a channel. Why? Because two things out of it. One you already mentioned. When
Mhm.
you're collaborating with another influencer or another social figure,
Mhm.
what you're doing, you're blending in the audiences, and
Yeah.
some of your viewers are gonna go follow them, and some of the viewers are gonna come follow you.
Mhm.
Now this works in a on social platforms. This is the key to growth. This exact formula doesn't work in real life in business, because put it to you this way: if we're in business together, you're in business, I'm in business. If my customer comes buys from you, I lose, you gain. If that customer buys from me, you lose, I gain. So in real life in business, it's a lose and win situation. That's the beauty of social media. Social platforms create win-win situations.
Yeah.
So if my follower comes to you, I don't lose, you gain. Your follower comes to me, you don't lose, I gain. This way both of us gain.
And
That's why.
some people, you know what it is, Gore? It's funny. Michael actually just came in. What's up, Mike? Uh,
Hey, how are you? Welcome,
you
Michael.
know what it is? Some people, they refuse to
Mhm.
collaborate with others. Why? Because they're scared. They're
Mm.
scared that their followers are going to go to that other person, right?
Ah,
I don't know why you think that. Like,
so that's a very short mindset to have.
it goes back to there's a lot of space for everybody.
Hmm.
You know, we might have very similar content, but we're not exactly the same. Listen, at the end of the day, like I said, you could copy me, but you're not me. You understand?
Absolutely.
You're not the person. You don't have the personality. You don't have the impact that they have on their fans. You understand?
It's like the saying, you can imitate but never duplicate.
Exactly. I have a good friend that runs by that mantra.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
One thing I want to tell you, though, guys, a lot of people, okay, that are very, very new to this, the show, podcasting, YouTube, Instagram, whatever it is, a lot of people, okay, right off the bat, they want to go get a guy with 40,000, 50,000, 100,000 followers and invite them to the show, which is great. It's good because, you know, you're looking very high, right?
Shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you
Very
land
high.
among the
You're
stars.
gonna exactly shoot among the stars. You might fall halfway, but what's important is that you shot towards the star. It's like what Wayne Gretzky says: you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. I agree with you, but
Dude, I said that saying yesterday and I did something that you came to mind. Go ahead. That's
but
funny.
you have to be realistic. Okay, uh, listen, guys, I don't do that. I don't go for people that have a million followers that I just do, you know, get the clout and everything. What I do is that I go at the same level. Okay, I have 1,000 followers. I'll go with someone else that has 1,000 followers, even less. You know what I mean? You work your way up, right? You work your way up. You get more followers. You collaborate with bigger people after, and then you move like that. But you know what I mean? Just to shoot yourself out there when you have no reputation, you just started. You don't even know how to handle somebody with that kind of a following, right? Because you got to understand, when you have somebody with a huge following, they come on, you won't even be able to handle the comments and everything. People don't realize that. Be
That's
realistic,
an amazing point you just made.
and stay in your place. All right. Because what you're gonna do, or else, is you're gonna go for all these people that are unattainable. They're very busy at that point, right? So you're gonna get all those people. Most of them are gonna say no, and what's gonna happen? Your confidence will go in the garbage can. And you know that eventually, when you ask a lot of people, and then most people don't want to come, does it look very good? You know what I mean? Like, not that you're supposed to care about what people think, but I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like, be realistic. Go for somebody that you know that will say, yeah, but I go for people that I have run into. I have run into them, but not, it doesn't have to be in person, obviously. But let's say I did a podcast with somebody, their friend reached out to me. I don't know, you mentioned somebody, it's a friend of a friend. Those are ways you could get opportunities to talk to them. But if you just go out of the blue and you message some person, don't expect for them to come on a silver platter with gold medals. You know what I mean?
This is true, and it's another way of looking at it is, if you're going, if say you have 1,000 subscribers on YouTube and you're reaching out a person who has 150,000 subscribers on YouTube, the reason they're going to say no almost all the time is because they know that if you're small, most likely you're not going to be able to carry on the interviews and the conversations in a way where at that standard, at that level is done. And in order for you to get to that at that standard, at that level, there's only one way. You got to take the stairs. You cannot take the elevator. You have to put in the work, and with work, repetition is going to happen, and you're going to get and become a better host, better interviewer, better speaker, better listener. And that way you're going to qualify for similar type of guests.
Yeah. For example, Gore, Larry King, okay, the reason why he was such a great interviewer is because he was able to make the guest say anything. You know that you have guests and they're not going to say certain things. He would make the guests so freaking comfortable, they would say anything. Okay. So at the end of the day, when you're having someone on your show, if you don't really know them, they don't know how you are, they don't know the vibe, you don't know the chemistry between you and that person. It's probably a recipe for a disaster, because like they either will not come, or they won't show up, or they won't feel comfortable doing it, or they're gonna brush you off, and it won't be a good show. You know what I mean? So
absolutely,
you gotta have people that you have good chemistry with, right? And then you also want to be careful, right? If you're having guests that do that, let's say you're having a comedian, right? And you're from LA, you're better off getting a comedian from LA than a comedian from, I don't know, Washington or something. You know what I mean? Like, because then they're gonna be like, wait a minute, you're a show from LA and you're getting a comedian on, but you're not getting one of our own, and then you're gonna look like a sellout. So you want to be careful for those things too, right? There's conflicts, and then you're gonna have people, oh, why are you having him on? He's such a bad person. He did this to me.
They're going to pin it against you, and you're gonna have to answer.
If you think like that, you're never gonna make it anywhere. You have to not care about what people say, not care about who has a beef with who. At the end of the day, you are your own person, and you have nothing to do with that.
Yeah, and that being said, if you're someone who has 1,000 subscribers, and for some reason you have that interview experience from a different field, say from you happen to be an interviewer or a host of some kind of media as a work profession, then I honestly encourage you to say do it. Don't let the 1,000 subscribers hold you back. As long as you're personally ready to carry on a quality interview with the person who gave you a shot. And actually, one of my mentors, I'm wearing their shirt, Patrick but David, and I made a shorts about him too. He's in it too. He was on live on Instagram, and I was recording him, and then he turned around. You can see the video; it's on my channel. Like, Patrick, I'll be sending you this. It turned out like, all right. And long story short, he actually when he first started, right now he has about 2.5 million subscribers on YouTube, a few million followers on Instagram. But he started YouTube 7-8 years ago, and at first, in the very beginning, he was able to get Mark Cuban. He was like, I think he was in either his very first or second, or first, second, third interview was Mark Cuban. So imagine the level where he started from. But the guy was ready. He already made a business that was over $50 million worth, and right now it's over 200-300 million. So what I'm trying to say, on a personal note, from his personal and business experiences, he was ready to sit down with Mark Cuban, and he did it. He killed it, and then he got more and more guests on a similar level, a little less. Well, at that point, anyone you can get at that level, it's not going to be bad. So he continued on killing it, and now he has a very, very big media company too, where he actually has 3, 4, 5 other peoples, where that channel made other people famous. So that's pretty much the steps we wanna learn from and see how successful people are doing. Hence the name of the channel, Modeling Success Successfully. You know, they're already doing it. There is no reason to reinvent the wheel. All we need to do is just learn the rules. Don't break them, but bend them to your own advantage. But don't break them, within the rules.
But one thing I want to say though, your buddy, you were talking about, his name is Patrick, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, the thing is, we don't know his situation. Maybe he has a personal relation to him. Maybe a friend of his is a good friend of him. Like, if you might have that little chance that you could directly talk to him, or there's somebody that really, really knows him well, and you get lucky. That's what getting lucky is. You know what I mean? Like I said, good for him. He reached out to that billionaire, that big guy, and he said yes. Well, he pretty much won the lottery at that point. You know what I mean? Like, if you get a billionaire on as your first guest, well, then you're extremely lucky.
I agree. In this case, in this specific case, I think he earned it because he already had big credibility on a personal level with him. So Cuban, Mr. Cuban, wasn't saying yes to the channel. He was saying yes to the guy.
But
So
also,
you're
where is he
absolutely
from?
right.
This guy, is he from
I'm
LA?
sorry. Well, he's a Syrian Armenian,
Okay.
Armenian Iranian, but
Mhm.
he lives in America. He was in LA. He moved to Texas, and recently he moved to Miami. So
Okay.
they're finding the states that are most tax friendly.
Well, there you go. The thing is, Gore, it's about exposure too, right? Like I'm from Canada. When you're from Canada, it's you're not in LA, my friend. You know what I mean? And I know your argument about even if you are in LA, it doesn't mean you're gonna get to talk to everybody. It doesn't mean they're even gonna have your attention, right? I understand that, but at the end of the day, it's also about the climate too. Where I live, it's mostly winter. You know what I mean? The laws are much different here. It's a whole other language. With the taxes are much higher. Like there's just a lot more hurdles. So it depends where you live. Where you live, it does determine your chances of success, right?
It definitely helps. Doesn't hurt. 100%.
Doesn't hurt. But
It doesn't hurt. If anyone says it hurts,
for example, I'm Canadian. I don't have that green card, right? So someone who has a green card could go to anywhere, LA, Washington, whatever, do what they gotta do and not have problems. So it comes down to exposure as well.
absolutely. Exposure creates experiences, and experience is the number one way of learning. You cannot read about push-ups. You have to do it. So this is true. Ange, I wanna move on to the next subject, which is going to tie whatever we talked about together, and it's consistency. I wanna hear your opinion on like being consistent and relevant. What's your take on those?
Okay, well, consistency, guys. I mean, you make your schedule, okay? You want to make a schedule that's attainable, that's sustainable. You understand? A schedule that, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm going to make my videos. Do those videos. Do the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. Don't put too much out there. You won't be able to keep up with it. You know what I mean? But what's important is that you have to show up every day. You know what I mean? Show up, put that video out there. Like I said, put stuff that there's a reason for somebody to watch it. They really want to know an answer. When you're making a video, do a question. Do a question that people are like, you know what? I'd really like that question answered. So I think I'm going to click that video. You know what I mean? So, like I said, keep a schedule and don't stop. Even though you don't feel motivated one day, you got to fix it. There's something bothering you after. You got to, like I said, work out. Hang out with very positive people. That's another thing I wanted to say. I have a list probably of 500 miles of people that inspired me that are very positive, and I changed my way of thinking completely. When there's somebody toxic, you got to get rid of that person right away. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Get rid of that person right away. He's an obstacle in front of you, or she, or whatever. So, like I said, keep uploading. Keep those uploading schedules. Instagram, very important. Instagram, you need to keep up the stories. You should have 10 stories, one post, and a reel every day. It sounds like a lot, but trust me, there's ways to get it done without a lot of effort. You know what I mean?
Ange, let's talk about reels real quick, because I'm going to just assume, which is not a good thing to do, that not many people are familiar with reels. Stories and doing Instagram posts, I think more people are familiar with that than reels. Is there tips? Do you have any tips or tactics or any formula to doing reels? What is it? Like, what is
Funny thing, Gord, is that I don't do reels, but
okay.
it's suggested, right? I do. Now I'm up to about 10 stories a day, and I do a post. It's usually a post about what I have on my channel, right? And let me tell you, the posts, they help you a lot. Because one thing that people don't understand, it's very hard to remember something for people. Like, I could post this episode here, like beforehand, 5,000 times, but for somebody to remember, 3 o'clock, I have to go. In Italian, we say la mano di Dio. It takes an incredible force to make someone remember.
I saw the hand.
When the hand comes up,
I saw that cannoli post too.
He goes, I forgot. And then he was crying. I'm like, it's okay, buddy. But, that's why you have premieres. That's why you have a community post, and people do not use this community post for the life of them. They know they have it, they don't use it. I don't understand why. I know there's not a lot of action as on Instagram and other places, but you gotta share it. Sometimes you gotta message people, say, "Hey, I'm gonna be here one day. Can you come and support?" You really gotta work. You gotta work your ass off. Like I said, people's times are precious too. Hey, they don't have all the time in the world to come see you. They got kids. They got stuff. Their kids at school. They have housework, their job, personal problems, this, that. So, like I said, it takes a lot for someone to say, "Okay, I'm gonna come watch you." You know what I mean? That's why it's so hard.
Definitely. And that this is true, and just to add on to that topic, being consistent with your uploads is going to assure the consistency of your videos and views as well, because people are going to depend on your uploads, and whether it's an entertainment or education, they want to get more of you. If they're a fan of your channel, they want to see more of you. So if you're uploading one day and it takes you forever to upload another one, you're going to lose the trust, and once you lose the trust, you lose everything. You need to create the trust with the fan, trust that, hey, I'm gonna upload, for example, 2-3 times a week, and you stick to those days. You break it, you're done. Definitely sticking consistent, and that's one of the best way of adding value. And one thing I wanted to also add on to I want to highlight this point that Ange made during the a lot of the talk that he just gave. I want you to take the specific wisdom out of Ange's message too. When you're putting titles to your videos, Ange said something similar to where create a title where it's similar to question, like create a curiosity around it. When someone's reading the title of your video on their phone or on their computer, it's something that's going to intrigue them, something that's going to say, okay, I want to see what happened. And just to give an example to that, yesterday I posted a shorts video about my German Doberman having a boiled cabbage as a snack. He loves it. And but the title I put it as was my purebred German Doberman loves this snack. Now, I created a curiosity about the snack, and I didn't say what snack is. If you want to find out what snack that is, you got to hit the video and watch it. That's another way of doing it, what Ange said. So either you can create a title as a question form, or you can create a title that's a half sentence and leaves the good part out for viewers to click on it and watch it. So I wanted to highlight that that tip that you just gave us.
You brought up a good point, Gore. You know, like, guys, check out Gore's new video. He made a short about his dog giving him a treat. And I told him, you hit that video on the nail. You hit it on the nail. Yeah. You put the hashtag shorts, and guess what? It showed up on the shorts reel. Okay. Yes. So that's another thing you guys have to understand. There's also hashtags that they help a lot. Today, I made a birthday post. Usually on Instagram, when I put a hashtag, there's anywhere from 3 to 10 more views based on the hashtag, right? So today there was actually 67 people that saw my post because of the hashtag.
Wow.
And the post I did for my birthday today was one of the best posts I've ever done.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because there's a lot of engagement. People see it. Happy birthday. Thank you. I appreciate whatever you like. There's a lot of likes. There's a lot of comments. When Instagram sees that, they start showing it to more people. They start putting on more people's feeds. So you have to get a buzz around your video. And you know what? It's actually, people say, why do you comment on your own video? Well, guess what? That's the best thing you could do. Comment on your video and start a conversation in the chat room.
And make sure to pin your comment.
Pin your comment so it stays to the top. People are going to answer it. Trust me. They're going to answer it.
And another reason, sorry to interrupt, Ange, just to touch up on that point. Another reason to pin your comment is because algorithm looks at videos that are shot in 4K quality, pinned, shared on Facebook, not just shared, but liked on Facebook. There's like certain checklists, like 9-10 checklists that it helps the video to garnish more viewers, more attention. And number one way of doing that is actually encouraging to your viewers to do what I'm about to say, which is to like this live stream and share it out, because the shares and likes are creating that engagement that Ange is describing. And engagement sends signals to YouTube algorithm saying, hey, this topic is hot. A lot of people are interested. So go ahead and show even bigger audiences, see what they think about that. And usually they show it to bigger audiences, and that's when even more views come in. With more views, it's that domino effect. You're gonna
Mhm.
get more watch hour, possibly you're gonna get more subscribers, and
Yeah.
possibly your viewers are gonna watch your others videos too. So that's why another way of saying is you're one good video from blowing your channel up. If one video
Yeah.
hits 1 million views, best
Mhm.
believe your other videos are gonna get a few 100,000 as well.
And that's a good point, because when you're under like 5,000, I would say even under 10,000. Okay, when
Mm.
you're under 10,000, you seem to be chasing the subscribers, right? Let me
Mhm.
get 1, 2, 3, 4,000, 5,000. You chase
Mhm.
them. Once you hit 10K, it's a domino effect. It's a snowball effect. After people say, "Hey, did you see that channel? Hey, it's cool. I'm gonna like it." Instead of getting one follower a day, you're gonna get 5, 10, maybe even 20 followers a day. You know what I mean? Then the big you get to 20K, you're gonna get to 30K. You get to 30K, you're gonna get to 40. Then you're gonna balloon up to 100. Like if it's a really hot topic that you're talking about. So
Mm.
that's what I'm saying. People, they say, "Oh, but why are you only at 2,000? Why are you only at 3,000?" You know what I mean? It only takes one video to get you
That's
to
it.
10K, to get you to 15K. It only takes one big person to see you, to have them on their team, to collaborate with them, to say, "Come
100%.
down to LA because I have an opportunity for you."
This is so true.
Exposure, exposure, exposure.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
we're running out of time. We do have some time left. And
Yeah.
I love talking to you, brother. Honestly, I can sit over here
Yeah.
and talk to you for hours. And every
Of
single time
course.
I talk with you, I learn something from you. I get
Mhm.
confirmations, and most importantly, I get the feeling of that I'm not alone. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That I'm not the only one that's going through this. And
Mhm.
putting their everything out there, and at the same time being very very acceptive of the results they're getting, even though the results compared to the work that goes behind the scenes is a black and white difference.
Yeah.
But that will change too, just because of the reason we said we're one video away. So Ange, I want to ask you a question,
Mhm.
and I want our viewers who, if you have a new YouTube channel or you've been doing it a while and you don't
Mhm.
see too much momentum and stuff, you're gonna hear a lot of help from this answer too. And what
Mhm.
is that one thing you wish you had known when you began the YouTube channel, YouTube career? What's that
Uh,
one thing you wish you had known in the beginning and you did it earlier on, basically?
like I said, the consistency for sure.
Mm-hmm.
The consistency. One thing I noticed though, like a lot of people were saying, I actually was judged at the beginning, saying that I wasn't genuine. Like like people were watching my stuff, but I wasn't watching their stuff.
Interesting.
So one aspect I would say is, you got to give back to the viewer. And that's something I didn't do at the beginning. It took me till maybe after I got monetized to really start thinking I got to give back to the viewer. What you get, you have, if you want to receive, you have to give. You know what I mean? So it's like you have to keep that viewer. It's almost like it's the same thing like a business, right? You have to keep your customers happy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that aspect would have helped. Like, how do I say this? To retain people, to retain viewers,
Mm-hmm.
retain subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
That aspect, I'm sure I brushed off a lot of people. You know what I mean at the beginning. For that, like the following, if you're following somebody, don't unfollow them. Especially if there's somebody that's a viewer, looks up to you, this that.
Absolutely.
That aspect, I wish I would have taken a bit more serious. I listened to some people that were ahead of me. That's another thing I regret. I just, one thing I don't like, Gore, is the disinformation on YouTube and even in the
Mm-hmm.
world right now. It's a big problem. The misinformation, the fake news. A lot of people
Because of
say
having too
things.
much information.
A lot of people say things like I saw a lot of stuff, Gore. Okay,
Mm.
I'm talking about the people that started on YouTube when I started. A lot of fake, surreal stuff that I thought was legitimate, and I got caught up in it. But I didn't copy what they were doing or try to do what they were doing. As a matter of fact, I would even on my own show, live stream, whatever, I would speak up about it. I would say, "No, I'm not doing that because I don't
Mm-hmm.
think that's organic." You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So, and
Absolutely.
there's so much stuff that I thought was true, and it's complete BS.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm happy I didn't do that.
Absolutely.
I'm
Yes,
happy I
and
didn't do that because
Mhm.
Gore, I think you experienced it yourself.
That's what I was
You
about to
want to
say.
stay organic as much as possible, right? As soon as you start
So
to
true.
modify. I would say like take steroids on your channel, whatever. But if you
Push the
try to
momentum.
artificially grow your channel, it's a very risky business right there. Why? Because
Absolutely.
one, YouTube is on you, right? It's like the casino. When you start winning a lot at the casino starts asking questions. YouTube does the same thing because they got to pay you. So you have YouTube on your ass, okay? You have the people that are jealous of you that you started with that are saying, whoa, where's this guy going now? All of a sudden he has 100K subscribers, whatever. Where's this guy going right now? So you have that. And then you have the people that expose you, right? Like if you have a video with 50 views, then all of a sudden you get a video with 10,000 views. And then the next 3 videos you do are 20, 40, 50.
Something is up.
It's pretty obvious that something is up, right? So
absolutely.
If you're gonna pay, and you know what, like honestly, if you want to pay
while
for
we're talking
promotion,
on the topic, before I forget, I'm so sorry to interrupt, Ange.
okay.
Before we forget, guys, if you're thinking of going and buying a YouTube channel that has like 5,000-10,000 subscribers and going from that, what Ange said is exactly what you're going to experience. Don't try to cheat the system or trying to fast forward the natural process. Let it happen organically. If you're going to buy a channel 5,000-10,000 to 50,000 subscribers, don't think that you're gonna right away become a big channel because you have so many subscribers. Those are all fake. You're not going to get any support from those subscribers. Your one video is gonna get that, let's say 10,000 views. The other one is gonna get 5 views. That simply tells you that channel was set up the wrong way. That channel was not grown the organic way. So why would you want to buy a non-organic channel? You don't. So the same idea goes, why would you build a non-organic channel? You don't. So that's exactly what Angie is saying. Stick to organics. Don't let the views fool you. Just because go ahead, please go ahead.
One thing I could say, Gore, this is really important. And listen, if you're like 15, 14, 13 and you're just doing YouTube, you don't understand it yet, and you're paying that whatever that price is for that account with 5K subs, you might not know. It's not your fault. You're young. You didn't know it. It's fine. You don't understand YouTube. But that's the problem right now. Nobody wants to take the time to understand YouTube. Most people that I talk to when I network with people, they just have it completely wrong. They don't understand YouTube. Take the time to understand YouTube. If you're gonna really invest your time in it, look at it. There's so many videos. Type how to get more views, how to get more subscribers, how to collaborate, how to get people's attention. Like there's so much. There's a library of information on YouTube. Take the freaking time to do it. And it's
absolutely.
Everybody thinks that the sub count is the way you win. It's like career points in hockey. Like, Gretzky has 2,000, I gotta get more. It's a race of subs, bro. And when I started, the small YouTuber support thing was huge. It was just starting up. It was a really big thing, and now almost nobody does it. Nobody does it. Like it's not even if you do it, it's not a popular thing right now. It's not a popular thing.
It's not popular,
because it's not sustainable. YouTube caught on to it. We were saying like things like connect, big, this, that, all these things to throw off YouTube. Then YouTube just said enough is enough. We're gonna do remember there was that big cleanup, and now everybody just doesn't do anymore because it's a waste of the time, right?
Exactly.
One thing I'm gonna tell you guys: you want to grow on YouTube, don't do it on YouTube because they're gonna know right away, right? Oh yeah, go to my channel.
Yes,
go to your
absolutely.
channel.
That's
gonna know
why
right
there
away.
are Discords exist, right? A lot of Discord groups for
there's
that. That's
Discord,
absolutely
there's Twitch,
right.
there's Instagram, there's so many other ways you can network with people. Okay, it's nice to meet people, but like I said, you say I'm going to your channel, this, that, right away, they know they're going to remove your subscribers, right? Exactly. One thing I want to say, guys, before we end this, for sure, I got to say this. Whenever someone subscribes to you, you have to make sure they have the notifications on, or else they're just a number, right? So what does a number do? Like Gord was saying, you could buy an account with 10,000 subscribers, but if you can't sustain enough views, okay, to at least cover, let's say, even 10%. So let's say you have 10,000 subscribers. If you can't reach 1,000 views each video, I'm not talking about one video and then forget it. There's no point of having that 10,000 subscribers. You're going to get exposed right away.
Plus, YouTube algorithm is going to hate you because you have dead followers that are not watching. What's the point of 10,000?
YouTube's going to remove your subscribers and that money that you paid for that account. Anyways, that's an old story for sure.
Absolutely, so, but that's a tip for you guys. There is no shortcut to YouTube. You really need to get in and stay in line and do the work and inner work. Ange, I have 2 questions left for you.
No problem.
If you could go back in time and give your own young self an advice, what would that be? And this goes to anything. Could be personal, could be YouTube, could be business. If you could go back in time and give your own self an advice, what would
Okay,
you
so
tell
when
your
I
own
was
younger
younger,
self?
like when I was like 10 years old,
Say
or
10 years, say 10 years ago when you were 19.
10 years ago when I was 19. So
Uh,
like
aren't
for YouTube, you mean? Like,
No, in anything. You're 29 now, correct?
yeah,
So 10 years ago, if you were to go back 10 years ago and give yourself an advice, let's say on life, what would
yeah.
you give? What would you tell yourself? Because
You
you
know,
you you had your 20s now. You know
yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah. There's a lot of things. You know, one thing I would for sure tell myself is plan, prepare. Okay, because you know, you do your 20s. We take our 20s for granted, man. It goes by so freaking fast. And the beginning of your 20s, you know that you're just gonna waste your time. You're gonna go to clubs. You're gonna spend your money very, very, very irrationally. You're not gonna respect your parents as much. You're gonna hang out maybe with the wrong people. And you know, there's a time where you make mistakes, Gore. Uh, and it's not the worst time to make your mistakes in the 20s, because then when you get older, you become an adult, a real adult. You don't have those problems after when you're married, when you have kids, and later. What I would say to my 19-year-old self is be smart, save your money, go to school, which I did, but go to school, do something that you're really inspired by, find the right path to get to wherever you got to go. Have the confidence to do things. Don't be scared to do things. You know what I mean? Just take that shot, like Wayne Gretzky says. If you go on somebody's live or you do something, just think about in 50 or 60 years, are people going to remember that you screwed up? Think about that, right? If you have that mindset, you could do whatever you want. It's all about just doing it. If you can't do it, you're never going to have that chance. So I would say literally grow some balls at 19, do the things you want to do, go out with girls, have a good time with your friends, go travel if you have the money to do it. Don't have any regrets. That's what I would tell myself. And,
Great advice, man.
use your
Great
confidence.
advice.
Use your confidence. Be a confident person. Don't be scared. That's what I would say. Guaranteed.
That's such a great advice. Thank you for that, and I'm sure our
No
viewers are
problem.
thankful for that too. And like the saying goes, if you don't plan to win, then you're gonna plan to fail. So
Yeah.
having a plan, and a lot of people confuse that plan. They need to have it down to the details. No,
Yeah.
one thing I've learned from from not winning,
Mm-hmm.
is you want to have a target and
Mm-hmm.
always be flexible with the routes to get there.
Yeah.
Don't jeopardize and compromise your target, but always have an open mind to change the way of getting there. Just because you thought, okay, I'm going to do this and then I'm going to do that and then I'll get to the target, and then you do the first steps, it works, second step doesn't work, you're like, oh, I failed. No.
Yeah.
The target is still there. Just because your way didn't work doesn't mean doesn't work. Find another way. Don't lose the target.
Another thing, though,
Mhm.
another thing that's really important, Gore, which I find that it's a problem with the world, with people. Don't worry about what people say. It's just, I wish I could say that 5 million times and mail it to everybody, because it's absolutely true. It doesn't matter what people say. If you followed somebody and they didn't follow you back, big freaking whoop. Like, you know what I mean? Or
Exactly.
whatever. If you asked a girl out and she said no, or whatever, or a friend said, "Oh my God, I can't believe you asked." Who cares? Like, who freaking cares? You know how much stuff goes on in the world. Do you really think that's gonna matter 100 years from now? You know what I mean? Who cares what people say? Do what you gotta do. And the more you, like I said this at the beginning, the more you focus on who hurt you, getting back at that person, screwing them over, looking at all the people that just focus on execution. This is actually something Gary Vee said. Focus on execution. Spend your time doing stuff. And one of the things that's hard when you're a performer, entertainer, podcaster, one of the things that's hard is that you want the time to watch other people's stuff, right? Which is good. That's actually something you should do, okay? But the problem becomes you become a spectator after, and then you get lazy. You don't want to put up your own stuff. So that's why you have to stick to your schedule. Tomorrow's the day show on the Ange TV show, guys, by the way, at 2:00 Eastern time. So I'm going to be there, and I have a co-host. So I have a reason to do it. I have to do it because I have a co-host waiting for me.
And I love that you created that link, and which created more of a security and bond for you to come through, more
Yeah,
responsibilities.
exactly.
And
And it's a weekly
I
collaboration.
like that. And we talked about this in our last podcast too. We had two certified producers, sound engineers. They're artists, they're rappers, and we
Yeah.
talked about this over there in that field too. You definitely need to be very, very, very clear
Mhm.
what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's clarity is going to give you the confidence, so
Of
you'll know
course.
where you are. And
Yeah.
last question to you.
No problem.
What does modeling success and doing it successfully mean to you?
Modeling success and doing this successfully, it goes back to what I was saying at the beginning. You need to come up with an idea before you do anything. You always want to plan. Like, I want to buy a house, so now the next year I'm going to be looking at apartments, the prices, the location. So before you execute, you have to plan. There's the brainstorming process. If you do a business, okay, you don't want to do a business with $5,000, right? You want to do a business with a couple 100,000 or maybe $1 million, so that you have money for a rainy day, right? So, like I said, come
Absolutely.
up with a good idea, a good name. Think about all the things that could go wrong, and then come up with solutions. So you'll be ready for that. Instead of expecting something, oh, I got sued, or I go this happened, that happened. Look at all the possibilities, the location, the demand. Supply and demand is one of the biggest things
Yep.
in macroeconomics, but it's
That's
true.
business 101.
How many people want to watch your video? How many people want to buy your bread? You know what I mean? That's what you have to look at. It's the number one thing. How many people need you? You understand? So
Exactly. In
that's,
other words, how much value are you adding?
yeah. How much volume are you adding? Is it relevant? These are things you got to. Why should somebody watch you? There's got to be a reason why somebody watches you. And this is the things that I learned later on. After, if you notice my channel from now and maybe 3 months ago, you'd see a huge change.
Hmm.
And you know what? What's one thing I could leave you guys off with? Okay, about YouTube. Don't forget to rebrand yourself. Don't be scared to rebrand yourself. If your channel isn't going right, if you're doing a reaction video channel, you don't like it, change it up. Change it up. You know, tell your
Absolutely.
following, it is now becoming this, it is now becoming that. Don't be scared. A lot of people, they say, screw this, I'm going to delete my account, make a new account, delete, make a new. And then, you know
No.
what happens? It becomes impossible to get followers, because then they know that you're always on the go, and you're like basically a robber, like what's that thing? Those two people, Bonnie and Clyde, robbing
Exactly.
banks around America. So
Exactly. The way I see it, you need to look at YouTube as in like different type of audiences.
yeah,
Number one, you have your first core audience. Number two, you have your new audience that comes in and they discover you. And number three, you're going to have an audience for, say, whatever your niche is, specific with the updates. So you can kind of have to do different topics in order to keep your existing followers happy and
yeah,
continue getting new followers, and at the same time stay relevant with the topics and
yeah.
everything that's the real world offers. So definitely you cannot be shy and stick to only one way of doing it.
You know,
You're gonna get
that,
tired. Go ahead.
that's a good point, Gore, because this goes back to before what you were saying about changing your channel, like being a general channel.
Hmm.
A lot of people told me, okay, stick to one niche. You're gonna hear that all the time. If you go on YouTube videos, how do I start a YouTube channel? They're gonna say stick to one niche. Well, you know, it's kind of true. Okay,
Hmm.
if you're doing sports, don't talk about breaking news, right? Like,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Unless you're talking about breaking news of sports, that's fine.
Hmm.
But don't talk about something completely different, right?
Mhm.
The way I see it, okay, my channel is almost like a Netflix. It's like an Ange Flix.
Hmm.
Okay, I offer you different content every day.
That's
So
a good one.
Monday, I give you the day show. So it's informative. Okay,
Mhm.
it's informative about the week. It's a weekend review. So a lot of people don't have the time to watch the news. Okay, it's all there in one shot, and we can even give you commentary.
Mhm.
Then Tuesday, it's the unknown. So we're talking about mysteries, which is very, very interesting with a lot of people.
Mhm.
And I try to get the things that interest me. If it interests me, the odds are it interests other people.
Wednesday's
So
episodes remind me of a lot of History Channel, Nat Geo Channel, a lot of projects which I love watching. So I
yeah,
love what you're doing on Wednesdays
yeah.
with the Bermuda Triangle.
It's actually on
and
Tuesdays, but
Tuesdays. Oh, I'm sorry.
Wednesdays and Thursdays I have
Okay.
guests, which guests
Tuesdays.
are good because, like I said, you're bringing a new wave of people. in your channel, all their followers. Like I said,
There
you're
you
bringing traffic to your channel.
Mm-hmm.
You're meeting new people. It's interesting for yourself as well.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, I have had guests that led me to other guests.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of other guests.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's definitely worth it to have guests.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say to have more than 2 guests a week because it gets very, very complicated after. And that goes into, now I'm thinking of, like I said, I do a live, but I'm thinking about doing a pre-recorded so I could get more interviews done and then post them even on days that I don't usually go live. I could just post them, right? And it doesn't take my time. I could do other stuff. It's the premiere's playing. I could be doing an interview on somebody else's channel.
You're leveraging your time. That's
time
exactly
management
what I'm
becomes
doing.
very important the bigger you get.
You have to, and we touched up on that too. Very true. Ange, would you please tell our viewers where they can go to connect with you on socials, please? And by the way, guys, all the links are gonna be under the description of this video. In about 2 hours or so, when YouTube processes this live stream, then it'll be over there. But for now, where can they get connected with you?
So guys, you could connect with me on YouTube, obviously, at The Ange TV Show. Go check out my videos, like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell. That's very important so that you don't miss a second of the action, okay, guys? So that's for YouTube. On Instagram, my Instagram is The Ange TV Show. At The Ange TV Show, you will find me. Follow me up. I will follow you back. And I'm not on Twitter, just to let you guys know. I'm not on Twitter. I am on TikTok. It's The Ange TV Show as well. And that's about it, guys. Those are my 3 main social medias.
Wonderful. And I want to give a quick shout out to our guests. TJ's Nation, shout out to you. Thank you so much for stopping by. Raul, thank you so much, Raul. We have Tavia Baker. Thank you, Tavia. And we have Jay Itaej.
What's up, Jay?
There we go. We have Tavia, PCG team, a Peribon CPA group. Guys, if I mispronounced your tags, I apologize. I'm so sorry. I'm just trying to do my best. But thank you so much for being here. And I want to let you guys know, if you're still here, please go ahead and subscribe to our channel, subscribe to Ange's channel, give a like and share this live stream. Or if you're watching it in a video form, you can go ahead and do the same, share it out so more people can get views. And be sure to go ahead, subscribe to Ange's channel on YouTube, follow them on Instagram and on Facebook as well. And let's get connected. And if you like to be a guest on this channel, go ahead and email to modelingsuccesssuccessfully@gmail.com or reach out to us on Instagram. We'll go ahead and schedule and see what we can do. Other than that, I want to send a special thanks to Ange, the host of the Ange TV show, for making sure this live stream happens today. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
And I want to thank you, brother. And I want to say happiest birthday to you one more time.
Thank you.
And it means a lot. You're a type of individual who's going to do a live podcast on their birthday. And guys, if you're thinking of working with individuals or getting connected with individuals who are about their business and they're there to support and grow together, then Ange is your guy too. Be sure to connect with them too. Ange, I appreciate you, brother. It was a pleasure speaking with you. I know you have plans.
Pleasure as well.
I'll let you go, and I will let you know about the tomorrow's, if I can join you guys. If we can, guys, be sure to go ahead and tune in with Angie's TV show. Tomorrow they're going to have a live podcast, The Day Show.
With Jason DeCanio from New York.
There you go, at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time and 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. So I'll do my best to be a guest over there, but if I'm not, you already know how the conversations are going to go. So tons of knowledge, tons of help, and it's all for free. The only thing we ask for back is the likes and shares. That's all.
Also, guys, I just want to say that if you're interested in being a co-host on The Day Show, which is basically we go over the week in review, it's an amazing opportunity for you. You know what I mean? The exposure. If it goes really well with me, you could be a recurring co-host. So like I said, guys, if you're interested in being a co-host on The Day Show, send me a message on Instagram and, or even comment on one of my videos on YouTube and I will get back to you.
Absolutely. So you see what I mean, my amazing viewers. Just by watching this live stream, you have already networked with us, and you have 2 doors that are wide open for you to bring more awareness, more attention to your cause, to your brand, to your message to the world. That's exactly what we ask in return. If you like and share it, you're going to help us to bring more awareness to our cause and to our message and to the world. And we're giving you the same opportunity to come on our podcast too. That's also amazing.
I want to say something before I get off. Sorry there, but
no.
Okay, guys, one thing you have to understand. Okay, first of all, when you put something out, don't expect people to come. That's something that I find a lot of people get wrong. They get frustrated and they quit. Don't expect people to come. You have to do the marketing to get people there. You have to get people interested in there, and that is work. It's work. Don't be lazy. Do it. The other thing, I'm almost forgetting a bit. What was the other thing I was going to say?
Think about it. That's very true. Action.
Yeah.
Action is where it's going to happen.
Yeah. Okay. And now I remember what I was saying.
Awesome.
So you make content, right? You make content. You have days off. Okay. On those days off, you know what you should be doing? Advertising your video, networking with people, going to other people's live stream, meeting people, go on Clubhouse. There's hundreds of people you could connect with from the same city as you. So on your day off, that's when you should be networking, right? Because you don't have the time to do it when you're making content. So when you're off, network. There you go. Next time you have another video, you're going to get more views.
Absolutely. And this is true. That's one mistake I did with my previous channel that I fixed it this time around. I made sure I have Instagram and Twitter and Facebook because it all helps to push the YouTube channel, and you guys should do the same.
And also the thing is, on each social media, so each social media is good for a certain reason, right? TikTok, you're going to do something very funny, very short, right? Facebook, you're going to make a statement, a controversial statement that's going to get people's attention, or you could even share a video. Instagram, you're going to make a story, so it's going to be like almost like a poster. So all I'm saying, guys, is use each social media to your advantage.
Absolutely. And it's not really hard to know what social media is what for. If you don't know how to find that information, very easy. Go on YouTube, search how to use Instagram. Spend 10 minutes, watch videos. How to use YouTube. How to do this. You spend 30 minutes, you're going to find out three different social medias to use. And the only thing holding you back is you from doing it. Action. Just do it. That's about it. Ange, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for all the wisdom that you brought to us and to the world. You're awesome, man. I appreciate you. Happiest birthday one more time, brother. This is not going to be the last, and I would love to have you back as my special guest again sometime in the future, because you and I and people that are similar to us, we continue to grow and we continue to give back. And I know that you're going to have more and more in the future to give back, and I would love our viewers to get an opportunity to hear you again.
No problem.
Thank you, brother. I wish you the best. My amazing viewers, thank you so much. You guys have a great rest of the day. Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.